Bruh, what's up, Sony ponies and Xbox? How y'all doing? Check this out, man. This is an absolute insane story. So it took what, like a year and a half, almost like 2 years that we've been talking about this. Let's go for 2 likes on the video, guys, because check this out. So the only reason Microsoft and Activision deal has gone through, it's still not final, but let's be real, it's final, right? We are hearing that in October they're finally and officially gonna acquire Xbox, is finally gonna get Call of Duty, and that's what they cared about, right? That's the only thing they care about. They care about one thing and one thing only, regardless of how many times you say Call of Duty's trash, regardless of how many times I say Call of Duty's trash, it's doo-doo, they don't care. PlayStation want one thing and one thing only, and that's Call of Duty. Xbox want one thing and one thing only, and that's Call of Duty, okay? So check this out, guys. This literally what went down earlier today, because they say as part of Microsoft restructure, Activision Blizzard acquisition, Microsoft will be required to notify Ubisoft. So some of you are probably like, hey yo, like what? Like what? Where? Why Ubisoft? Like why Ubisoft? Okay, like where Ubisoft is coming from? Now here's the thing though. Everybody literally has approved the Activision and Microsoft deal except for the UK CMA, right? And they were worrying about the cloud streaming. They were like, if cloud streaming is gonna be in the package, we're not gonna approve it. So these suckers, they did not want the cloud streaming service go to the Xbox and Microsoft with the Activision package. So these suckers, what they did, I'm talking about Microsoft, right? Microsoft was like, okay, we're gonna throw a new proposal out, okay? And in this new proposal, we're gonna give the rights of the cloud streaming service, including Overwatch, including all the Activision games, including Call of Duty, to Ubisoft. Oh shit! So now check this out, right? This is absolutely an insane thing. Microsoft, and this is the only reason UK CMA has approved, because had it been they did not approve, Microsoft was like, bruh, like we can remove Call of Duty from the UK. They did say that, they did say that. Oh, but they still want UK because, like, listen, man, it's a massive market. There are a whole lot of toxic gamers there as well. There are a whole lot of toxic gamers in the UK, in the US, literally everywhere, right? And UK is infested with a lot of toxic gamers, and they love Call of Duty. They want to see Call of Duty. So check, I gotta show you a video as well, right? So apparently Microsoft will now be required to notify Ubisoft of all upcoming Activision games and provide Ubisnooze the ability to put all Activision games on cloud service or cloud streaming the same day as launch on consoles and PC though. And you know, suckers are saying that, bruh, Microsoft is becoming too OP. Weird, Microsoft with fire. And then Sony buys Ubisoft them out. Yo, could you imagine if Sony now, like, you know, Mark Cerny sitting back, like rubbing his hands together, he's like, I'm gonna buy Ubisoft, I'm gonna buy Ubisoft. That would be the craziest plot twist of them all, because Ubisoft, last time I checked, it was like somewhere around 5 billion or 6 billion, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but like, damn, I mean 70 billion or 10 billion, right? Like you be the judge, but check this out.
The Call of Duty franchise, but it also means that Microsoft will fully acquire Activision Blizzard. Yeah. It's been a couple of months since we spoke about this. I think the last time I brought it up was in April, and that's when they were basically issuing their final report saying that there were some competition concerns through the CMA, and the UK basically put a block to it. And
UK was like, bruh, y'all suckers ain't gonna be strong and independent. We're gonna be protecting our UK citizens. We're gonna protect the toxic gamers that are in the UK. They just cared about their toxic gamers way too much, and those suckers, they were like, bruh, we care about the cloud service. Cloud streaming is problematic. And this is the only reason they did not approve the deal. Meanwhile, I guess, you know, the right thing to do in that situation, obviously we now know that Call of Duty is not gonna go exclusive on Xbox or PC for at least a couple of years. We're not sure how many years, because previously they tried to, you know, throw that proposal of 10 years to Sony. Jim Ryan did not sign the deal. Bruh. He was like, bruh, if I sign the deal, I won't be able to friendly. You know, he thought that he's not gonna be able to call the friendly UAV online, and I mean that was kind of like a problem, right? Because you wanna be calling the friendly UAV. So did not sign the deal. Later on, when everybody started like approving the deal, like tick, 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 everybody, literally everybody started approving the deal. Then Jim Ryan ended up signing the deal. But we do not know for how many years. We're still assuming it's 10 years though, but we're not 100% sure. So for that time, for that period of time, Call of Duty is not gonna go exclusive. But the UK CMA, the entire reason they blocked or did not approved the deal was because of cloud streaming service, which nobody really gives a damn about for at least now. The biggest concern was if Call of Duty is gonna go exclusive on the Xbox or not, but UKCMA was like, bruh, they can remove Call of Duty on the PlayStation. PlayStation will be just fine. Meanwhile, Jim Ryan has been crying. He has been like, bruh, like, we want Call of Duty, we want Call of Duty, bro, we want Call of Duty. They're gonna remove Call of Duty, and then man ends up getting Bumbleclad, and then he ends up signing the deal because, you know, it went just out of his hands. Right now, it's out of his hands. And these suckers are like, okay, we're gonna give the cloud streaming rights to Ubisnooze. And just imagine PlayStation if PlayStation buys Ubisoft, bro, that would be the craziest plot twist ever. Because, you know, Call of Duty is gonna come out day one, okay, for at least the near future on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 as well. And they're gonna give these rights to Ubisoft on cloud streaming, and they're gonna release Call of Duty and all Activision games day one on cloud streaming. So for example, right, 10 years from now, Call of Duty goes at Xbox exclusive, Ubisoft still has the rights. They're gonna release all their games day one, and if PlayStation buys it, that's like a massive Bumbleclad. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same as like physical media or buying the game digitally. Obviously not gonna be the same, but cloud streaming would mean that even if Call of Duty goes Xbox exclusive, damn, these suckers can get on PlayStation if PlayStation buys it though. If PlayStation buys it. So that's kind of like the wild card, that everybody or every Sony pony is now talking about, okay?
Microsoft was also fighting the FTC in court, in which it was drawn out over the course of a couple of weeks, and the FTC ultimately lost that, actually getting mocked in court because it just was a huge waste of taxpayer dollars.
I mean, Lena Khan, the executive or whatever, or the chairman of FTC, she was trying to win the case without having a valid license. Her license was expired. Like, that was one of the biggest fail moment ever though. Like,
then in August, Microsoft submitted a brand new deal for review after the CMA blocked the first one, and just today, late last night, the CMA said that the new deal addresses its previous concerns and that Microsoft has an October 18th deadline to deliver.
Yeah, man, October 18, it's going down, suckers. It's going down, suckers.
The buyout, which basically is inevitable at this point.
Yep,
everything has been cleared in pretty much every single region, but
the second Jim Ryan signed the deal, because you guys gotta understand this, right? Like, for months and months, that sucker was like, I'm not gonna sign the deal. For months and months, that sucker was like, I ain't gonna sign the deal. And the second he signed the deal, we all knew it's over. Even he knew that, bruh, even if I try, even if I go down to the Brussels, y'all suckers remember, right? Like, you remember, right? When we heard that Jim Ryan actually went down to he took the plane, he took the flight, went down to Brussels, and he kind of snitched there. He started asking. I mean, listen, we talked about it, right? Like, Phil Spencer was gonna try his best to make sure the deal goes through. Jim Ryan is gonna try his best for the deal to fall, right? Like, I mean, these are businesses. They don't care about you. They don't care about us. The money talks, bull squash walks. That's essentially what it is. But you remember that time, right?
Just as a quick reminder, if you remember, the UKCMA was more concerned about the cloud streaming and the fact that Microsoft would have a majority of cloud streaming, and they didn't want that to happen because apparently it was bad for competition. So what Microsoft and Activision decided to do really did flabbergast everybody, and I never thought I'd be saying the sentence, but Microsoft and Activision decided to sell the streaming rights to Ubisoft.
Man, so that is yo, that is insane, bro. Holy F, bro. They care about Call of Duty this much that they're like, bro, okay, oh, we paid 70 billion, man. We paid 70 billion for Call of Duty. Okay, let's give the rights to Ubisnooze. Ubisoft, I mean, they're gonna take it though. Like, for example, right? Like, you and someone else has made a deal of $70 billion to acquire, but they're not letting it through. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, can a brother get a cloud streaming? Get a brother get? And you're like, well, if I give him the cloud streaming service rights, the deal can go through. And in return, I did nothing right, and then I end up getting the cloud streaming service rights. That's like Ubisoft right now. Ubisoft's crazy, bro. I'm sure, like, they're doing helicopters with their release right now. Xbox as well. Sony Pony's kind of like crying in the corner right now. Like, Sony Pony, I mean, Sony Pony's Y'all, I mean, come on, Sony ponies. Like, we about to get like Spider-Man 2. We about to get some good games as well. Like, it's not gonna be that big of a deal, at least for a couple of years, because after that, it might go, Call of Duty might go exclusive. But if Ubisoft has the rights to cloud streaming, then it might not. It might not.
What's going to be happening under this new deal is Ubisoft's going to acquire the cloud streaming rights for Activision's existing PC and console games and any new games that are released by Activision in the next 15 years. This is going to be applying globally, but not in Europe. Since Europe already accepted the original deal, Ubisoft will get a non-exclusive license for Activision.
Oh, yo, maybe like this cloud streaming service rights is only for the UK and with the Ubisoft. You never know. I think it's global, but could be wrong.
Rights to enable it to offer those games in that region too. Microsoft is going to need a license for the rights of Activision games from Ubisoft in order to have those games appear on its own Xbox Cloud platform.
Bruh, like what the actual, like where is my boy Dolby at though? These suckers bought for 70 billion. Why do they need their approval? Why do they? I get it, like even Adam 22's wife didn't need his approval to get the BBC though. I get that. I fully understand that. Like she was like, okay, I'm strong, I'm independent. I'm gonna be jumping from the next to the next to the next. I'm gonna try like different Pokemon flares. I'm gonna try different BBCs and whatnot. I get that. I get that. But like, dog, in this situation, these suckers paid like 70 billion. Why do they need approval of Ubisoft, bro? Like, why do they need approval of Ubisoft? I don't get it, bro. I
know that sounds a little bit confusing, but that's what needs to happen in order for this monumental deal to go through. Now, I'm not sure what's going to go down after 15 years. It's so far in the future, we can't really tell, but
Call of Duty will probably go exclusive.
Ubisoft having the exclusive rights to the cloud streaming.
Yeah, they didn't do jack. They didn't do bull, bro. They didn't do bull, and they're getting the rights. They're getting Call of Duty and all the Activision games, bro. I'm sure, man. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Sometimes you just gotta show up, man. Sometimes those participation ribbons are very, very juicy. They're very, very good, man. Sometimes.
Like I said, a sentence that I never thought I would ever say in the history of gaming, period. An interview released earlier on Bloomberg with the CEO of the UK CMA stating that Microsoft's restructured deal substantially resolves their concerns and that Microsoft could have avoided this lengthy process had they proposed a cloud gaming divestment months ago. So this deal could have been done and dusted if it wasn't for that one thing. So at this point, yeah, it's pretty much all but
stupid.
Confirmed. It's gonna go through. I
yeah.
Really didn't have any doubt in my mind that they'd make it happen, even with the FTC trials and the court hearings that were happening all through.
The second Jim Ryan signed that deal, it was over. We knew it was gonna. It's over because, you know, he saw that coming. I mean, quite frankly, like, he accepted defeat. The second he accepted defeat, we knew he effed out though. Or they effed up.
The previous months, I was just thinking to myself, there's just no way that anything they're saying is going to be valid, because even the competition, Sony, are guilty of the same things that Microsoft is being grilled on right now. It just didn't.
They don't give a damn about us. And guys, recently Activision got a massive W though. Rare, ultra rare W. I cannot even believe that I'm saying this. Click on this video on the screen. She ended up getting banned. Live, dead ass on stream. Check it out. It's a wild, wild video. Click on it and I will see you right there.